Hello, my lovelies. It's me, author Alexandria Fonte, here with another review. Excuse me. So tonight's review is of author Jennifer Cody's book, Bishop to Night One, which is basically a three-book series so far. I'm assuming because I've only read book one. Um, this is This is basically book one in the Diviner's Game. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It is a male paranormal romance series. And so basically the blurb goes DJ. Okay, so DJ is one of the main characters. And this is pretty much his introduction for you. It says, I've spent every day of the last 10 years taking in and caring for my sister's sons. I've built this family from the ground up, and no one is going to destroy what's mine. Someone keeps trying to kill one of my charges, but that person won't win. I was born with enough magic to wipe them out of existence and have zero qualms about doing that. After all, I live by the motto, we don't hit first, but we always hit last. And then Matt is the other character, and it says, the best thing my old man did for me and my brothers was die and leave us in a naiad's care. A naiad is basically, I believe that's how it's pronounced too. It's basically like a water if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe that's how it is in the book. Okay, so DJ is rich, powerful, and sometimes gives me heart palpitations. I don't plan to woo him, but I won't ignore the attraction between us for long. After all, I might not have much time left. I don't know what I did to Houston's non-humans, but they're not killing me without a fight. Bring it. So Bishop Tonight One is a 115,000 word age gap paranormal romance because the main character, Matt, he's about to turn 18. And then it has a happy for now ending. And it's not a standalone. Even though it might look like it is on the Amazon site, it's not. It also says it includes trigger warnings, uh, maybe the age gap, but I didn't. But then I'm a different caliber of reader, so I didn't see any trigger warnings. There is off page, which basically means that the author didn't put that in the book itself. Um, so there's some off page abuse, and then there's a couple of descriptions of violence. And so basically, in this story, each of these boys that he takes in, they all have kind of crappy backstories. So okay, so um, this book is pretty much fantasy, paranormal, romance, and mystery, like all wrapped up in one. So remember that this is a series. So if you find yourself a bit confused, like I was, it's okay because what you might see as plot holes, like right now, will most likely be filled in the next book. I don't know because I only read this one. And so DJ is the son of a naiad, you which basically it's like I said, it's like a water nymph. And then here's the issue: naiads, they only keep their daughters. So if by chance you have a son, they pretty much cast you. I mean, if by chance you are a son, I'm sorry, I'm messing up this review. Anyway, they pretty much cast you off or sometimes kill you at birth because they only have use for girls. And so he pretty much lucked up because his mother actually kept him until he was 16. And then when he turns 19, he becomes a billionaire, which I was just kind of like, okay. And then years later, he finds that like his 3-year-old nephew is pretty much being abused, so he takes his nephews in and then commences to raise them. at that point, he tells his sisters, instead of doing away with the kids, just give them to him. And so he kind of like becomes like this shelter for Naiad boys. Then 10 years later, one of his sister drops off these two boys that you can clearly tell through the reading that they don't belong to her. But he takes them in anyway because, the sister claims them or whatever. And so I'm um so basically I'm assuming that the author made the kids different, like different from everyone else, so she could introduce this relationship so it wouldn't be taboo. um and so anyway, one of the boys is eight, he's almost 18, and then the other boy is 4, so it's like an 18-year-old and a 4-year-old that the sister drops off. It's obvious that the older boy, Matt, has been pretty much taking care of his younger brother like all this time. This book gives you like pretty much all kinds of paranormal species because Matt is like 7 feet tall and almost 400 pounds of muscle. And then it like says that he takes after his dad physically, but he's pretty much said, I'm gonna take care of my brother no matter what. um and then he's like a month away from turning 18. And so it's like this whole family dynamic, but Matt doesn't really know how he fits in it because he's unlike all the rest of them. And so he like struggles at first, but then eventually begins to feel like, more at home. And then he even goes so far as to like help DJ with the kids. He's attracted to DJ, but he has some issues with the way he appears to people. And he pretty much thinks like he's ugly. And then more than likely because of the species that he is, and then he's the one that's like not like everyone else. And then so you learn that DJ has the house for him too, but Matt is pretty much jailbait. uh, so, but since he is turning 18 soon, DJ decides to wait. DJ is like this powerful curse wielder. Like basically he can speak a curse and it happens, but he doesn't know how to cure that curse once he's done it. And so he pretty much uses this to like, protect his family and from like all the other crap that's out there. So anyway, that's the premises of the book. Now this book, at first it was like it's kind of slow at the beginning. And so, you just have to trudge through, but it has really good world building. And the characters are seriously likable. And this was my first male paranormal read, so that was pretty cool. And then both main characters you can like really relate to. Like I said, you have all types of paranormal species in this book, as well as magic, which I liked. Um, there are some huge info dumps, though, that kind of make it hard to process all the information that you're being given at that point in time. But after I realized that this was a series, I got it, but as the author, not the reader. And so, which, might eventually be an issue for the author. So DJ is pretty loving, but he can be a dick at times, like in the way he treated the main character Tio. I mean, one of the characters, Tio. um Matt is like the quintessential, nice guy, and pretty much balances out DJ's dictums most of the time. So my issues with this book as the reader, the plot holes. The characters are pretty much um set up at one point, and it's never explained why this person did what they did. And so also one of the main character's kids is threatened by this same person, but nothing happens. Like the kid just shows up the next day and nobody says anything about it, and they don't even ask the kid what the hell happened. um that same character never says anything, even at the behest of like others getting killed or maimed, or they just feeding pancakes. Like it was no big deal. And so I was just like, what the hell? But anyway, as the author, like I get why the me as the author, I get why the author is doing this because it's a series, you gotta like hold your reader's attention. But as the reader, that just leaves plot holes that might piss off your readers, and they may not even want to read the next book in the series. So you got to be very careful when you're doing this. Like I was saying the other day, as an author, I'm telling you, as an author, I've been doing this for 10 years, almost 11. You gotta finish that story first before you stick in a cliffhanger or something that you will use to get the reader to travel on to the next book. You started this whole series, and then there's so many things in this book that you weren't given answers to, but then you're just, as the reader, you're assuming that you're going to get them in the next book. But if the book ends on such a way that you piss off the reader, then 9 times out of 10 they will not read the next book. Like as a reader, I'm telling you, as a reader right now, I just read this series the other day, like last week. I even believe I did a review on this person, but I'm not going to say the person's name. That book pissed me off so bad that I was like, no, no. Even though the story up until that point was good, it was very readable, and the character, well, at least the guy character was very likable. I didn't read the next book. I refused to pay for it. I was like, this is one book that I will never know the ending to because of the way the author ended that, the plot holes that were in it that she didn't fix by the time she got to the end of the book. She just ended it on a cliffhanger and was like, read the next book. And then she gave the readers a little snippet of the next book. There was another series that I just read, which I will probably be doing a review on that as well. This author did the same exact thing. And then what she did in the next book, because I really wanted to know what was happening after that, because this was a dark romance and I just needed that ending. Anyway, I bought the next book, and what she did for the next book is she gave you information that she'd already given you in the first book. So the first chapter was basically a reboot of the last book. And then you get maybe 15 minutes of the book, and then the book ends on another cliffhanger. Well, I refused to buy the book. I was done. So this is what you don't want your readers feeling. Because when you do this, it basically just pretty much sets you up for a fall. So if I had to give this book a star rating, she would get a 3.75. And the reason that she gets a 3.75 and not a four stars or 4.5 stars is because the story is great. The world building is amazing. And the characters are very, very lovable, likable, whichever you want. But that massive info dump that I just kind of felt like didn't really move the plot for this book along, and then the plot holes because they annoyed me. So I was just like, wow, okay, so I can't. I'm not as a reader, I'm not sure if I would read the second book. Probably the author in me will read the second book so I can see how she crossed over and how she did that. But the reader itself, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. So you never want to do that. You don't want to piss off your reader. You want to piss them off, but you want to piss them off in a good way. Like, yes, oh my God, I could just, like, when you watch, if you watch a Marvel movie, 9 times out of 10, when you come out of that theater, you are so pissed off. What the, but you know that the sequel's coming, and so you're just like, yes, I can't wait to see it. Like, even though it made you mad in a good way. And as an author, this is what you want to do. You want to make your readers, if you're gonna piss them off in a good way so that they go on to read the next book. And so that's pretty much to this review. This author, once again, is Jennifer Cody, and the book is called Bishop Tonight One. I probably should have showed you guys the book. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. The book is called Bishop Tonight One. Just like totally so sorry, guys. So I can't find it on my Kindle, so I'm going to show you guys just basically on my phone. So here is the book. It's called Bishop Tonight One. There we go. Bishop Tonight One, and it's by author Jennifer Cody, and you can get it at Amazon right now. It is a 3-book series so far, and this is book 1 in the Diviners game series. So you guys make sure you go out here and pick it up. It is a male paranormal romance, and like I was saying, it's a really good book. I just had an issue with, that big, huge info dump. Here it is again. Bishop Tonight One. With the big, huge info dump, and then the plot holes, which basically, I'm assuming will be taken care of in the next book, which is basically, let's see. I'm assuming, yeah, it'll be taken care of in the next book, which is Knight to Castle 2. Um, Basically, they're on Amazon.com, and this book is, let's see, not sure if it, no. You can get it with Kindle Select, but it's $3.99. So basically, make sure you guys check that out. Like I said, it's a good book. You may feel like there's plot holes, but like I said, the author more than likely takes care of all of those in the next book. But basically, you kind of like never want to do that. But that's just me, the author, speaking. Um, and then other than that, the world building is great. The characters are lovable, like DJ and Matt. So check it out, guys. That's pretty much it. Tomorrow we will be reviewing, just a second. So I don't actually have an author up to review. That was all of the authors who had sent in for the channel um that Jen sent me. So if you are an author out there who was scheduled to have your live review done, and I haven't done it, and I didn't mention your name, please send us an email at multiculturalromancelatina and tell me who you are. So tomorrow's review will be of author. Oh, wait, where is it? Ah, okay. The Synergist. Oh, darn it. Okay. The Synergist, which I thought was really cute. It is a reversed harem paranormal. So that, and it's by author Chloe Adler. And we'll be reviewing this tomorrow. There we go. And bunches, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned. Bye.